Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your monthly reading for March 2026. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and we're going to jump right in. If you are new to my channel, I'm going to give you your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do your full cultic cross spread, and then we'll break it down week by week. We'll pull more cards and talk about a couple more aspects, and then the second spread. And you see that I have, maybe you don't. Well, let me put the... you have a little guest, Ruby. Yeah, she wanted to see what was going on with Capricorns this month. Now, here's the thing. Capricorns, I do have really good news for you. Yeah, you have been accepted to Spiritual Warrior Academy. Congratulations. Classes start right now. All right, you're going to be going through a lot of life experiences this month, and they're going to test that leader in you, the leader, the role model, the hero, your vision moving forward, so you do get everything that you want, so you do get everything that you deserve. And you can definitely thank your ruler Saturn and Neptune, because they paid for your enrollment, and honestly they also gave you no choice. So you're here, you're in transformation mode thanks to last month, the Great Reset. And here's the other thing. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction last month, it was headline making. It took all the spotlight from everything. So a lot of people forgot that we're in eclipse season too. So as you can see, we kick off March with an eclipse. But either way, with the Great Reset, Great Awakening, all of that, right? The Great Shift, you were asked to start creating your new world, okay? And I know you're doing an amazing job. You're Capricorns, of course you are, in terms of creating your reality. But here's the thing. The planets, not me, the planets this month, they're going to say, we want receipts, prove it, show it, okay? And own it. Luckily, you got some really cool teachers. You got your ruler Saturn, you got Neptune, Mars, all of them, okay? They're going to help guide you into your new era, because March is a pivotal month. It is like an initiation, to be honest, because you're already starting to build your new world, right? Your new era. But by the middle of the month, you're going to be expected to make it real, okay? Because there's another reset happening. We'll talk about it. It's the equinox. And that's also great because all the planets will be direct by then, okay? But even still, it is going to be a big moment. We are in eclipse season still. We're coming after the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, so expect radical change. Yeah? You'll also notice there are no blue asterisks by any of the aspects that usually indicate the best aspects of the month, because if you saw my March astrology overview live stream, which I'll leave at the end of this video, you're welcome. This month, there are none. And why is that? So, applesauce is because if you did see that live stream, I also said March, and I also said this in your 2026 forecast, March is one of those months, one of those rare months where there's an aspect, a major aspect, pretty much every day. Yeah. So to have no challenging aspects, it's a big deal. Okay, no squares, no oppositions. There's we're not including like the planetoids, the dwarf planets, asteroids, the moon. We're not including the moon. We know, and that's your emotions, etc. We're talking planet to planet, right? And so even though there's no challenging aspects, the magnitude of some of the aspects this month, they're gonna be potent. So it's really up to you on how you manage and handle those aspects. But this is one of the best months of 2026. And one other thing that I said in the live stream, and again, I talk about a lot about March that in that live stream that I won't hear. And again, I think I said this in your 2026 forecast. February, April, and July are the three biggest flashpoints of 2026. They're like the movers and shakers, like big things happen, right? So you heard me, right? February and April. March is right in the middle. So March is like a bridge too. you're going to notice as well, the majority of the planets are going to be in this one small section in the sky. Pisces and Aries. Pisces, the last zodiac. Pisces, the end, right? Aries, the beginning of the beginning. So again, old world, new world, out with the old, in with the new, and in a really big way. In a really big way, especially for you. Okay, you got a lot of family stuff that's about to happen. The other thing is, and home, like home too. The other thing I was going to say is that, yeah, there's going to be a couple tests. Saturn's going to be really active this month. Yeah, your ruler. And with Mercury retrograde, the first half, listen, there's going to be a lot of aspects that are going to ask you, what are you willing to let go for your new era? All right. So I'm just going to go over the major highlights. Yeah. So we're going to skip a couple of these. We'll talk about them at the end when we break it down week by week, or, in your weekly forecast. And I really want you to pay attention strongly to the first week. That's where I'm putting most of the emphasis. Okay. Because next week we'll be skipping the first week to do the second week, which is Bonkersville. All right. So, you hear the bell? Class has started. I'm just going to give you, I'm only telling you a couple signs where I feel like they really should know this, and you should really know this. Sunday, March 1st, not on the whiteboard. And again, there's a lot on the back, and there's a lot that's happening that's not even on the whiteboard, including the very first day when you have Ceres conjunct Chiron and Eris in Aries. Okay? This is a big deal, a really big deal, especially for you because Ceres, yeah, she is going to move into Taurus mid-month. We'll talk about that when we get to the weekly forecast. But she's ending her tour in Aries. She's going to conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, Eris, Mars' sister, the goddess warrior, the disruptor, on the very first day. And Ceres is a dwarf planet, like Pluto, right? So big deal. And she is Virgo's dwarf planet. So has all the qualities of Virgo in terms of, service to others, nurturing, health, etc. She's really more about like nourishment and nurturing, like I said. Food, yeah. But here's the thing. She's known as like, she's Mother Earth. She's a caretaker. She's, Mama Bear. All right. She's going to be conjuncting Eris and Chiron. And so this is your fourth house of home and family. So the big takeaway, without going too deep into it, yeah, there may be some ripping off the Band-Aids, okay? Self-healing, but there's also a big message here. You take care of you, yeah? So you can take care of others. You have to be in a good place to take care of the people that you love and care about, all right? What are your needs that are not met? Yeah, protection, respect, all of that, okay? So really, you're going to feel this energy as you move into the month, especially because look at what's happening on Tuesday. But Monday, March 2nd, Mars will move into Pisces. This is the first time in 2 years. And Pisces, as you know, is very spiritual, emotional, like heightened intuition, creativity, healing, everything that Mars does not like. He's into action movies. Yeah, he's into, tridents. Anyway, very fitting with him being in Pisces, because you would think that Mars doesn't do well in Pisces, but I beg to differ. And honestly, he does fine. Yeah, he does fine. What he does is he directs all his energy into the spiritual and the metaphysical and, therapy and healing and the creative arts. He's wading through the, infinite emotional waters of Pisces, relentless, because half the reason is he is the ruler of Aries. The next sign over, he can see his house. It's like from Alaska to Russia. He can see his home and he wants to get home. So his conviction is going to be like a mountain. He's generating all this energy in this dreamy spiritual seascape of Pisces, okay? And it's Mars, the god warrior. So you know that there's going to be some ripples in your third house. So what does this mean? A, this is like an awakening within itself. B, for the entire month, Your soul is going to be lit. Yeah, as the kids say. Maybe they don't anymore, but you are just going to feel emotionally driven and passionate and take inspired action toward things that inspire you. Yep. What is truly meaningful to you? You're really going to embrace this energy. That's Mars and Pisces. But your third house, you're going to have a lot of compassionate conversations, even your thoughts. The third house is the mind, it's communication, it's travel as well. A lot of y'all could be compelled to, I don't know, go on a trip to the seaside, picking up clamshells, whatever it is. Yeah, it's part of your healing journey. Maybe you'll do, a walkabout on the beach. But the third house is also family energy. Remember, I said you're going to start seeing a lot of activity within family. And the third house would be like sisters and brothers and siblings, also distant relatives, also neighbors too. There might be some energy here as well, but Mars, again, it's drive, it's your passions, it's action, it's determination, but through this divine lens. Yeah. So initiate, okay? Third house activities. This is you launching businesses. This is you starting, I don't know, a Facebook group. Third house is the internet. It's online. There's just something here that looks really, really, really like we need to talk about this. Yeah. It's also, remember, healing. So a lot of like healing, right? The words that come out of your mouth, it's energy. It's just, you're really going to feel this. All right. Now, the other thing is that, yes, you're definitely a lot of y'all are going to spend some time really processing a lot of things with the fact that Mercury's retrograde in Pisces, and a lot of communication that you do maybe from circumstances, events, people from your past. Yeah. All right. Now, and Pisces energy is like, forgiveness. So there could be some apologies and things like that. Now, Tuesday, March 3rd, we have the total blood moon, lunar eclipse in Virgo. This is happening at 13 degrees, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my time, New York City time, if you want to convert that. And if you are in the U.S., yeah, you're going to see it. So you're going to see it in the U.S. The lunar eclipse, listen, eclipses, as you know, are like 100 times the power of a full moon, right? And so full moons, they represent endings, culmination, turning points. Things are illuminated. We're in Pisces season with 4 planets in Pisces: Mars, Mercury, Venus, and the Sun, right? All the inner planets. And remember, Pisces is the end. So there's truly something coming to completion here, okay? And remember, Pisces rules your third house. Third house is also like, there could be even, you have so much home stuff. It could be like a lease. It could be something like a rental agreement. There could be just agreements in general, contracts. You may have like verbal agreements around this time as well. It's like you're aware that something, it's like, because Mercury's retrograde, it's like, I'm going to just agree for now, but I'm not ready to sign anything yet. That may be a big thing for a lot of y'all, but listen, there also may be some sort of like personal reckoning here, okay? Remember, eclipses bring change. And with especially lunar eclipses, eclipses are known to like eclipse things out of your life as well. And this eclipse, it's right on the nodes. So you can expect some fated change, right? Because of the fact this is happening in your 9th house, right? The lunar eclipse. While we're in Pisces season, that's your 3rd. There may be some travel involved. You may have to go somewhere. You're coming back from a trip. Yeah, you're planning a trip. But there's also something here. It's like there's almost like this teachable moment. There's something here where you need to impart your wisdom to someone, or vice versa. You may be going back to school. You may be, thinking about, going back to school or learning something, maybe an online class, maybe like a fun cooking class, whatever it is. There is something here where education's involved. So is publishing. Okay. You, again, with your third house activated, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, I don't know, a blog, online, podcasts, broadcasting. That would be part of the 9th house. But there's this, expansion of the higher mind, something around this eclipse being in your ninth house is going to broaden your horizons. All right. And the other thing is, I want you to think about what happened for you August 23rd. Okay. Even September 21st. Okay. So last year we had that new moon solar eclipse in Virgo. But think about that time. Just those it's August to September. What happened? What was happening around that time in your life? Especially something that made you see something in a different way, something about your philosophies, your belief system, but also like higher learning, travel as well, or working with people overseas, or publishing, or something like going back to college. Yeah, this is really strong mutable energy too. By the way, you're gonna be adapting to something new. All right, you might be pivoting, you might be ascending on your path, and remember, this is the Pisces Virgo axis. This is what I call the healing path. We're on the health axis. So there's something here that could also be like, whatever's coming to an end here could be really cathartic. It's like, you're like, finally, right? Finally, this cruise ship is done. This, around the world cruise. I was, missing Taco Bell, whatever. Here's the other thing is that this eclipse is Mercury ruled. Yeah. So there will be very likely some truths coming to light around this time, or thoughts that you have, new ways of thinking, something just you're generating energy around, because you've got this new moon solar eclipse or lunar eclipse in Virgo in your ninth, 4 planets in your third. It's a Mercury ruled eclipse. The third house is Gemini ruled. They're Virgo and Gemini are, the only 2 signs ruled by Mercury. And so there really is a lot that you might be processing. Okay. And again, maybe some things from the past with Mercury retrograde, currently retrograde. But one thing I really want you to focus on with this eclipse is your health. All right. I did say it's the health axis. Virgo rules health and, health care. And the fact that Virgo rules are ninth, I would just all of it, okay? Like physical health, spiritual health, emotional health, mental health. Your third house is activated. Social health, all of it, all right? Because with this eclipse, there could be something that shows you areas where you may not be taking care of yourself, all right? And I say that because Virgo rules the workplace, the work environment, and you're a Capricorn. All right? We know you work, you put a lot of effort in work. I mean, you rule the 10th. So, here's the thing. This is the perfect time, okay, to just ask yourself, am I putting too much energy into making everything perfect, right? Those lower expressions of Virgo. Perfectionism, being hard on yourself, self-critical, worrying too much, overworking, burnout energy. Maybe you have strict routines, pessimistic thinking as well. So remember, lunar eclipse, we want to leave this in the past, where this is where it hit the road, Jack. Yeah. And also remember, nobody's perfect, okay? We're all human. So again, use this eclipse to eliminate as part of, what needs to stay in the old world. Virgo is purification. So break out the sage, burn some candles. Virgo rules the digestive system, your gut, trust your gut. This is also like, it could be like a detox here. All right. Think of it as a detox. Just have some sort of mantra. You're like, I am going to release all that no longer serves my higher good or my higher purpose. I'm protecting my time, my health, my heart, my mission, all of that. Yeah. And do some breath work, maybe some grounding. I mean, it is Virgo, right? Earth sign. Like, you put some crystals in your water. One of my secret tips I give some secret tips with the crystals, but just know something's got to go. Something's going to go. It is a lunar eclipse. Okay. So just letting you know, for you to have an exciting, new era tour. Anyway, if you are a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your husband, Rob, or whoever, right? Mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces will feel this eclipse the most. And if you know your natal chart, if you have any planets between 10 to 15 degrees, 15 degrees in any of those signs, well, those planets will be aspected. You're going to feel it the most. Now, eclipses, normally when people, hear eclipses, are like, listen, yeah, we get them like 4 times a year, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, on average 4. And sure, they are game changers, but this one, as long as you're eliminating as things that even parts of you, right? You're living in the past, you're going to be fine. But what makes this even special, even more special, is that the same day Venus will sextile Uranus. Okay. I don't even know what to say. Like, I really love this for you. It's happening at 27 degrees. I really hope that you have a Venmo, I don't know, a checking account. Venus, the planet of money, is in this very auspicious aspect with Uranus, the planet of surprises, who's in Taurus, the finance sign. Yeah, Venus is home. So, yeah, there could be some money matters involved here. There could be something very nice, okay? When it comes to money, I mean, Uranus natively ruling your second house of money as well. Come on. So there could be something here with salary. Again, there may be some unexpected moments, especially, again, Virgo rules the workplace. There could be some, maybe you get an unexpected raise or unexpected bonus, or, yeah. And if you're not here for career, it could be just like, get a check for, I don't know, your health insurance charged you too much for something, or, yeah. So just keep that in mind. And also remember, it is Venus. All right. So yeah, if you're not here for money, it could be love and relationships and creative projects, but it is Uranus. There's breakthroughs. Uranus and Taurus in your 5th house of true love and joy and pleasure and creative projects. So I, again, really, really love this for you, with the fact that you do have Venus in Pisces, in your 3rd house. Again, you may even get messages, all right, or snail mail or email or something. They're around this time as well. Okay. Now, the other thing is that this only happens like twice a year, by the way. So really take advantage of this. There really could be some really nice payoff here. The other thing is, this is going to be the last aspect that you will have with an exalted Venus. Now, the other thing is, while this is happening, you see what's happening right after? So that's really strong. So you are going to feel Jupiter already. Jupiter's connecting with this eclipse. Okay? And what's really nice is that Jupiter's wife, Juno, yeah, who is Libra's asteroid, meaning Juno represents balance, truth, justice, equality in partnerships, relationships, love, marriage, contracts, agreements, commitments. She's connecting with the nodes to the eclipse. So there's this really nice nodal axis here where you have Jupiter and Juno. Like, what the? So, yeah. That means during this eclipse, there really might be something here with relationships, partnerships, and contracts, and marriage. For a lot of y'all, there may be something about a second marriage as well. And the fact that Juno's in your sign, the fact that you have 4 planets and Pisces in your 3rd house of signing things and agreements, and Jupiter in your 7th house of, yeah, contracts. And then this eclipse in Virgo, remember I said rules your 9th. The 9th is like the courts, law. There's legal matters here. So there may be something here working in your favor, something really official. All right? Something where a lot of y'all, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of y'all get a surprise proposal. Yeah. I didn't mean to ruin it, but it might happen. Or, things like that. but, or, even getting married, or like getting your official LLC certificate. There's something really, really nice here. All right. And then Thursday, March 5th is when the sun will trine Jupiter in Cancer, 15 degrees. When you have this, and this gonna be the first of two times, all right, that's happening this year. When you have the sun trine the planet of luck and good fortune and wisdom and profit, who's at his degree of exaltation, which I talked about last week, this just brings success. This is optimism, hope. This is self-belief. This is your faith restored in something and in some way. And again, yeah, it may have to do with relationships, partnerships, or truly maybe like some sort of agreement here. It could even be like, like the verbal agreement, but there's opportunities for you. This is broadening your horizons. This is giving you that confidence to pursue something. Remember, Jupiter expands. Jupiter's good fortune. I absolutely love what's happening here. This is really amazing. So I really would not be surprised if there were money matters as well. Maybe something like lucrative and uh, yeah, something new as well. Okay, your sense of purpose is really going to be locked in. And don't forget home and family. That really is a big theme for you. All right, this month. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces will feel the sunshine Jupiter the most. Um, I am throwing in the earth signs too. Taurus, Virgo, and you. If you have any planets 13 to 17 degrees in the water signs, you're really going to feel this. Now, Friday, March 6th, Venus will move into Aries immediately, like joining Saturn and Neptune. There's still those early degrees. Listen, yeah, expect a shift from this moment forward. I think you'll like it. You're obviously going to be the most affected, you and all the other cardinal signs, but and then also like Taurus, but just, Venus's relationships and money and creative projects and beauty, all of that in your fourth house now, home, family, etc. So there's something here where it just feels like a lot of y'all are becoming maybe new parents, new grandparents. There's something here where I wouldn't be surprised if you're, renovating the home, you decide to decorate the home in some way. There's something, again, that's driving this confidence in you. You're definitely going to be more assertive too. You could be a realtor. I mean, this is the fourth house, right? And you're just really driving sales now with Venus, money, right? But here's the thing, yeah, you'll be a lot more assertive. You might be a little bit less open to compromise too, because just the way that Mercury doesn't do well in Pisces, and your ruler Saturn doesn't do well in Aries. He's in his fall. Uranus feels stuck in Taurus. Same thing with Venus. She's harmony, diplomacy. Doesn't really do well in the sign of I am. And so, yeah, be your authentic self and consider yourself, put yourself first. What's in it for me, but in a way where it serves your higher self, okay? Your higher good. And then yeah, you'll have Venus here pretty much the entire month. So a lot of focus here. With home, relationships. Yeah. Now, and money. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Saturday, March 7th, we have a Mercury Cazimi. It's very interesting. I really want you to tell me what happens for y'all, because this is remember, Mercury just does not do well in Pisces, and he's retrograde, and we have a Mercury Cazimi that's a retrograde. So this is that reset of the mind, but this is where consciousness meets the subconscious. And you have Mercury in Pisces in your third of the mind. So I just feel like, yes, you may get some sort of download, some revelation. It can come through your dreams. Yeah. Pay attention to your dreams this day. You could literally astral project. That's how strong this is. but it is in your third house. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like through an email. You may get a message through an email, whatever it is. There's some clarity that you may have of something from the past. You might even make some sort of announcement and may even do something on social media around this time. Okay. And it like wakes people up. Or you read something and you're like, oh, I didn't know that. By the way, if you're a subscriber, you know that I always bring up the moon in Scorpio. And the moon will be in Scorpio. And I always, well, the moon, and yeah, that's another planet that doesn't do well in a sign. The moon doesn't do well in Scorpio. So there's always this emotional intensity with the moon in Scorpio. And it always brings a little bit of like attention to you and networking, the people that you network with, your support system, allies, benefactors, friendships, groups you belong to, organizations. And so you might feel a lot of that energy, this emotional intensity. It's also your audience, the 11th house. Um, the great thing about this, though, is that we will have a grand water trine. So with a moon in Scorpio, Jupiter in Cancer, Mercury in Pisces, and it will be several days long. And so speaking of the past, we had a number of these last, October, November. And so I love this. I think that this is great for you. I think there really is something here with social media that could take off. Something could go viral. Remember, Jupiter's part of this. Something with partnerships as well. Agreeing to something, signing some sort of contract. You're still kind of under the, window of well, you are. You're still under the window of the lunar eclipse. So, yeah, they're honestly just, there may be something here. I mean, it's just something with work, okay? There may be some changes with work. Anyway, like new partnerships. And remember, you still have home and family energy. Now, Venus will conjunct Neptune that same day in Aries, and you have, Venus is a lower expression of, or octave of Neptune. And this is a pretty early conjunction. This is a conjunction that also, it's the two planets that there's a lot of creativity here. A lot of imagination, the arts, music. Remember, Venus and Neptune both rule music. So hemisync, that flow state. I think that there's going to be a lot of energy here where you're going to initiate something new in this, through this creative lens, this dream big lens in the home sector. Okay. Or even just you creative, the fourth house is also just, it's your personal life. Yeah. And so there may be something here that's just really inspiring for you. Now, Sunday, March 8th, happy daylight savings. Yeah. We have 4 aspects happening this day. We have the Venus conjuncting Saturn. Yeah. Your ruler, 2 degrees. Speaking of initiation, this is big. Okay. First of all, we haven't had this in 29 years. So this is Venus, love, relationships, money, your values, and Saturn, your ruler, who is also karma, who's all about commitments, okay? Makes things long lasting. So there's something here where a lot of y'all are, you're taking a relationship to the next level. There could be this new phase and, you're a significant other. You may be buying a home. Just think long term. Yeah. Something with money. But remember, Venus and Saturn both do not do well in Aries. So a lot of this, while Mercury's retrograde, there can be a little bit of a checkpoint, reality check on your desires, your passions. And it's more you. It's like you asking yourself, am I really committed to this? Yeah. If so, we might need boundaries. We might need structure, more discipline. And you definitely are going to be stepping up as a leader of some type in, that sector, the 4th house. So a lot of you are becoming parents, grandparents. You may become, I don't know, the I don't know, the head of the gardening committee in your gated community, whatever it is. There's something here. It's like leader energy, but that's just you. That's naturally you. What I will say is that you may feel things are going to be moving in a different direction at this point, where you are likely going to make some big decisions. Okay. And it will be the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and you, that feel this the most. If you have any planets 0 to 4 degrees in any of those signs, you're really going to feel it. And it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, again, think about you. Do not disclude you out of the equation for anything here. Yeah. Okay. And you have to take action, because don't forget, Saturn being karma literally means action. Okay. In Sanskrit, and Saturn, your ruler, is literally in the sign of action. So that's why I'm just like, there's something you're going to want to do with relationships, money, something with a home, something about yourself too. Okay. Now, Mercury will trine Jupiter that same day, 15 degrees. Amazing. This is really, really, really nice, because you have Mercury that's in your third house of messages, communication, writing as well, even creative writing, which is really nice for if you are a creative writer. Trining Jupiter, right? So when you see what's happening here, it's just like the likelihood of you getting some sort of news or message that is feel good or lucky. I mean, you have Mercury in the third. Jupiter natively rules your third. And so, again, something here with relationships, partnerships, agreement, something that you really like, okay? It could even be insights that you have, but it does feel like there is something that you're going to hear, or again, maybe you are going to make an announcement. With the fact that Mercury is retrograde and Jupiter is retrograde, they're really, the biggest thing is, like, there may be something, again, circumstances, events, or, people from your past may be part of this, all right? But it is a good time to, like, pitch and negotiate as well with Mercury and Pisces being like forgiveness. Like, there may be some apologies around this time too. All right. Now, it will be the water signs that feel that the most. And I am throwing in the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, you. Now, yeah, Jupiter will go direct on March 10th, just so you know. And a lot of y'all are going to feel that. Okay. You're going to feel momentum, more support, more confidence, more hope, especially regarding partnerships, relationships. And when I say that, yeah, it can be love. It can be love and marriage. It can be, someone you're dating. It can be, business partner. Yeah, your FYI, or even a personal relationship. The other thing is, we will have Mars conjunct the North Node and Mercury conjunct Mars as well that week. And we're going to talk about that more next week. All right. That's obviously going to be, I'm going to put you down for a second. We're going to talk about that more next week. Oh, because they're pretty big. They're pretty big. Okay. And then here we go. You've got, and by the way, Ceres is moving into Taurus. Yeah. We'll talk about that next week. I really, really want you to pay attention to this big cluster of dates, though. The 17th to the 21st. Mark it in your calendar. Tuesday, March 17th, we will have Mercury conjunct the North Node in Pisces, 8 degrees. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Now, I told you last month in February, in your February forecast, to pay attention to February 12th, when we had Mercury conjunct the North Node. I said, when we get to March, when Mercury goes direct on March 20th, it's going to be at the same degree as this conjunction. And so from March 17th to March 20th, just pay attention. There's likely something from around February 12th that will come up again around this time. You're returning to something from that time. Okay. It can be a conversation. It could be a DM that you sent. It could be something that you were thinking about. I mean, it is your third. It could be something with siblings and relatives. It could be travel, something that you're trying to launch, and a writing project. I mean, there's just so many. Okay. Now, Wednesday, March 18th, we have the new moon in Pisces. This is going to be at a late, like 28 degrees. This is one of the best new moons of the year. I love this new moon. It's really magical. It's the beginning of the end. All right. A new moon in Pisces at such a late degree. Beginning of the end, you see what's happening 2 days later, the beginning of the beginning. And so this is where it's again, old world, new world. Yeah. And so what makes this new moon really special, first of all, remember Pisces is your third. So I would not be surprised if you're launching something, going on, a trip, taking a trip, maybe a short drive, maybe a longer one. I wouldn't be surprised if there's family activity around this time, or you just received like a really big message. But either way, you have the sun sextile Uranus that's pretty much baked in to this eclipse. So what? Yeah, that's amazing. Because remember, we're out of the squares. We're out of that cycle. February had all the squares with Uranus, the planet of surprises and shocks and chaos and, upheaval. But these are all sextiles now. So these are more like breakthroughs and innovation and lovely surprises. And Uranus and Taurus is in your fifth house of, joy and pleasure, romance and creative projects and, procreation. Yeah. So a lot of y'all could be having babies, making that announcement. I'm having a baby, or, someone in your family, someone's family energy, expansion, and partnership. There's so much here. Falling in love, getting proposed to, whatever it is. This is just, it's really special because we do have another grand trine with Uranus and Taurus, the sun in Pisces, and Juno in your sign. And so, again, I just feel like there's some big contract or agreement or union or commitment that you're making around this time on your new era tour. It will be the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, that feel this eclipse or the new moon the most. If you have any planets 25 to 29 degrees in any of those signs in your natal chart, you will really feel this, end of an era feel the most. And then Friday, March 20th, yeah, we're at the equinox. Happy spring, happy fall. If you are in the southern hemisphere, this is when the sun moves into Aries. So we officially move into Aries season. The sun is exalted in Aries and Mercury goes direct, no longer retrograde. So this is the real new year. Okay. FYI, I bring this up every year. I talk about this frequently in my live streams, but yeah, it's a real new year. Remember, for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, this is when the year began. So happy new year. Okay, because it was Pope Gregory just a few hundred years ago, just a few hundred years ago, who decided to change the entire calendar system. The Gregorian calendar, you can go to any month, none of it makes, like November, Nove, Novo, Nueve, 9. Why is it the 11th month? You can do that with every month. So this is the real new year. Happy New Year. This is when things come to life at this time that was documented by every ancient civilization. Anyway, we all have biofields, right? And we're connected to Earth. You're just going to feel that. You're going to feel this fresh, new beginning. Like I feel like inspired and etc. We'll talk about it in your weekly forecast, but it really is like a big portal around this time, to be honest, of new, a lot of new, especially a lot of focus on home and family for you, but even just on you. You're gonna, it's gonna be a very interesting feeling for you because it's the first time you've had, again, Saturn in your fourth for, 29 years? Yeah. So since 1996 and 1999. and Saturn's your ruler. So there's a lot of changes you're going through. Yeah. Anyway, Saturday, March 21st, you have Mars trine Jupiter, 15 degrees. So Jupiter's still at that 15-degree point. Remember, he just went direct. So you've got Mars and Jupiter. This, by the way, is one of my favorite aspects. And it's, it's one of, it's rare. It doesn't happen often. But the fact that Jupiter hasn't been in Cancer since 2014, where Jupiter's exalted. I mean, we've waited 12 years for this. And this is Mars and Jupiter. This is all or nothing. This is LFG. Hashtag gains. It's Mars. It's action. Jupiter expands. Your actions will feel blessed. Jupiter brings you success, and you have the sun exalted in Aries. So again, a lot of really great stuff with you, with partnerships, relationships, contracts, agreements, launching things, launching businesses, selling things. There may be some emphasis around your local community, but family, again, home, family, the foundations of your life, all of that, your roots. Real estate. You're just gonna feel a lot. You're really confident. You're gonna have that drive. Mars is libido, FYI. Mars is physicality, and so you could just feel energetic. It's highly charged, high frequency. We'll talk about more in your weekly forecast. And it's 2 water signs, so it's this emotional charges, this passion. I really love it. And then the last thing I'm just going to point out to you real quickly is Wednesday, March 25th. Yeah. So now you have a Saturn Kazemi with the Sun sextile Pluto. So remember, these conjunctions, these big ones, think of them as seeding points. Okay, so something major here with home and family, real estate. Something major, something new. It's a new synodic cycle. You have the Sun sextile Pluto that brings in your second house, money, finances. Also, your values, material possessions. It really just looks like a lot of you are going to be moving, all right, or buying property. Pluto natively rules your 11th. So it could even be in a way where a lot of people are involved. There's a farewell, or maybe you're moving in and you're being welcomed. There's, your friends are involved. Anyway, or something is your biggest dream is just happening right now. Anyway, let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you, Capricorn, for March 2026. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Capricorn, how are y'all doing? Capricorn, so I do a traditional call to cross spread, offers the best overview, and especially for a monthly reading, if we need to pull clarifiers, we will. Secondly, Capricorn, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much for being you. You win already. Okay? You win already. And I wanted to see one last thing. You will have... Juno's actually leaving your sign. Well, we'll talk about that in the... Okay, let's okay. All right. Yeah. You're really good. You're really good. Oh, you are committed. You are committed. Okay. You're okay. So you got the five of swords. Listen, this card really is. It's more about self-respect, self-dignity. Can I drop these swords like everyone else has? Am I, in Spiritual Warrior Academy to be, to mess around? Dennis the Menace? No, you're not. Okay? You're learning to be this spiritual warrior, this role model, right? So we want to, okay? And they're honestly when you think about, if, again, I drop these forecasts a few days before the month begins. If you're watching it before you even get to March, we do have Mars square Uranus. Okay, at the end of February, so a lot of you are going to be feeling that moving into it. But then remember, I said you do also have Ceres that's going to be with Chiron and Eris. So yeah, there may be some words exchanged. It looks maybe with some family, maybe with a partner, maybe with work, colleagues. Yeah, 6th house is activated. So just keep that in mind. You remember, you always want to be the best person in a situation, the best version of yourself. I think that you're going to be fine as long as you move into any situation or out of any situation, always, again, being the best version of yourself, okay? And always knowing that as long as you did the best you could, then that's good enough, right? Because it does feel like lingering energy, all right? And you don't want to carry that energy into the new world where you're really committed with that Knight of Pentacles and the heart of your spread. The Knights are active. They're all on a mission. This is the slowest Knight, but for a reason. He's in it for the long haul. Yeah. He is in it to win it. Look, you can see all the way in the back those oak trees. Yeah. You see what's in his helmet and the horse, the oak leaves. He's committed. He's connected to his future. He's not gonna. He's driven. He's diligent. He's hardworking. Yeah, he's gonna make everything. He's planted seeds. He's gonna reap his rewards. And so this is all about your future investments, money, all of that. Okay, you got your eyes on the prize. Remember, Pentacles are a physical reality too. It could be like a relationship. It could be like a car you just bought, whatever it is. Like, I'm gonna make this last for 30 years, whatever it is. Like, you're taking care of it, okay? And it does look really good in terms of that stability, that longevity, okay? Yeah, that 8 of Cups in your challenge area. All right, 2 things here. One, I think that because of this, there may be a little bit of you feeling a little bit stuck, and you're just like, how do I get out of this? You're meant to move forward. You literally have an eclipse in this card, right? And so remember that eclipse in Virgo, it may be a big thing. It's cups. It may be cups are emotions and feelings. Yeah, it's an eclipse, full moon. So you may be really feeling something here, but it almost feels like there's something like missing. Okay, and so the other thing is, yes, it's very likely you're going to be parting ways with someone. Okay, and again, it can be work, it can be career, it can be family, it can be whatever it is. Maybe you just need a break. Yeah, maybe that's it. And then you return to things. But just, again, what I said from the beginning, you really want to take care of your health in the beginning. All right. This, by the way, is attributed to Saturn in Pisces. And that's also really interesting because remember, Saturn just left Pisces. And there is a sense of moving forward here. But it does look like someone else maybe, okay? It just feels like a little bit of, like, you may feel a little lost. But you do have that Wheel of Fortune. You do have the Death card and the root of your spread. And that's the whole point here. These 2 cards are 2 cards of change. Yeah? This is a more fated. The Wheel of Fortune. It's card 10. When 0 goes 1. That's new beginning. Highly associated with karma. And then you have the Death card, which is transformation. It's change. And you may be feeling that this month. Everything is changing. But for you, it's like, I lucked out. Like, this is great. There's a lot of great things happening for me. And so I want you to explore that because remember, it's cups. So it's, again, maybe a relationship, maybe something with, your feelings or emotions, your passions, even intuition. Just explore it. But that also may have been the catalyst for this. Like, remember what I said earlier, like you may have to move in another direction or make a big decision with relationships, things like that, right? Yeah, there may be some changes. Okay, now you have that 10 of Wands in your future. Yeah, let's drop a wand or two. Remember what I said about working too hard. And so the 10 of Wands is taking on a lot of responsibility. This is a card where, in a way, it feels like a little bit of a distraction. Yeah. Does that sound familiar, Capricorn? Working a lot. There's some things going at home, but you're like, oh, but no. There's actually a lot of things happening in the office. I'll be. But anyway, I'm joking. But yeah, drop a couple wands. This isn't good for your physical health. And that's the same thing with like this lunar eclipse. Sure, it's happening at the beginning of the month. Remember, eclipses are cycles, or you feel it for up to 6 months to a year. And so even little things like, am I sitting in a chair all day? Is that good for my health? Am I, whatever it is for you, right? Whatever it is for you. But this is a lot of like, it's taking a toll on him. Yeah. And so it's almost like this feeling of having to prove yourself over something too. So again, you do you for you this month. Okay? You do you for you. But you're going through change. I'm going to clarify that 10. I want to see here. I want to see what's going on here first. Yeah, but also it is a 10. So again, there is something coming to an end there, but it just feels like you want to do it in this like, victorious, like, yeah, this is complete. And if you're not here for work or career, which ones are highly associated with, it's your passions. It's, ones are, the spirit of fire. It's like whatever you feel that, fire in your belly, but you don't really see it in that card. He's like he's weighed down. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Capricorn, y'all are amazing. All right, let's see what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so you're good. You're good. You got the Queen of Wands. Get it. The Queen of Wands. She's a businesswoman. She's charming. She's magnetic. People listen to her. She's very regal. People love her. Okay, this is epitome of passions. Like, she is so passionate. You can see that she holds the sunflower. Now you see the sunflowers in her throne. These sunflowers appear in the actual sun card, so therefore she has the powers of the sun. Now, what did I say earlier? The sun happens to be exalted in Aries, and the Queen of Wands is Aries. And so this is you just being that magnet. You got Venus in Aries too. Very optimistic. And so it does everything. You have an interesting spread. There's clearly change that's happening this month for you in a really big way. And it just may be gradual. It may be something that happens like right? But that just, again, that health thing that I said earlier, beginning of the, with the eclipse, apply it for the entire month, your entire life. Yeah. The 3 of Pentacles. So that's really great. So this is, again, it looks like you're doing something different, new job, new passion project, new career, new profession. Maybe you're getting, promoted, whatever it is, new people involved. The 3 of Pentacles is all about building something. They're having a lot of fun too. And you even see the Pentacles, right? So it's like monetizing something as well. Remember, Pentacles are your physical route. It could just be maybe you and your family are building something together as well, or working on something together, but it looks really good. All right. It looks really good in terms of, you even see the Pentacles. They're actually in the structure of the building, right? And so there is this sense of this long term that you see here as well. You have the Six of Cups. You just want to let down your hair. That's all you want to do, right? That's good. All right. This is a card of just sharing and kindness, and there's this gentleness, and it just feels good to feel good. There's a lot of protection here, a lot of harmony here, and you're like tapping into your inner child. Long hair, don't care. It is the biggest house in tarot too. So it comes with comfort, security, protection. And it feels like that is just one motivation for you this month. And you can have it all. You can have it all. This card is highly associated with a pastime. Nostalgia. Remember, Mercury's retrograde. A lot of things may come up that inspire you moving forward. And you have the King of Swords in your final outcome. So no. That's your new moon. That's all, everything that's in your third house. That's Jupiter and Cancer in your seventh house. That's Juno in your house, in your sign. So the fact that the chances are just very high that you would, sign something, make a big announcement, make some big decision, or moving up into a bigger leadership role in terms of, being like communication. Swords are the mental suit, the communication, like all of that. So really nice. This is power, authority, leadership. You calling the shots. You're really good. I want to see that 10 of Wands. Interesting. The 9 of Wands. Let me see one more thing. And then Justice. Okay. So, this makes sense now. You got the 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands. So, it looks like you're like reverting, if that makes sense. So, or the possibilities there. You have all these wonderful new things happening. You're moving forward. You've got that Knight of Pentacles in the heart of your spread. And then you have that 10 of Wands. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to see. And then you got the 9 of Wands. And so it does feel like returning to old ways, to old habits, to old routines that you thought that you were just like done. So just keep that in mind, okay? Now, the second thing is with that 9 of Wands, I mean, it really is like the don't give up card. Like, I've worked this hard. I've come this far. But there is a sense of like, he's got gauze in his head. And so it's fine. But then when you have Justice here, I'm just saying, like, yeah, there is a lesson for you in this. When I say pay attention to your health, overworking, overdoing things, just be very mindful of that, okay? Treat your body's a temple, all of that, okay? And then another thing is, it's like on the flip side, and again, every Capricorn's different. Yeah, it's almost like there's something that you're working really, really hard for. Please pay attention to your health. But it looks like you'll be rewarded for it as well. But you have to know if you're putting too much into something, okay? So just please be mindful of that. Please be mindful of that. Otherwise, everything looks really good. Let's break it down week by week. Capricorn, first week of March. Yeah, well, you have the total lunar eclipse in Virgo. You got Mars moving into Pisces. And then you got like a million like amazing aspects, okay? The Sun trine Jupiter, Venus sextile Uranus. Venus moves into Aries. Mercury conjuncts the Sun in Pisces. You have that Cazimi, you have the Grand Water Trine. You have Venus conjunct Neptune. In Aries, you have Venus conjunct Saturn. In Aries, you have Mercury trine Jupiter. That's all in the first week. Let's see the first week for you, Capricorn. What's the big takeaway here? What's the big message for Capricorn for the first week of, yeah. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. Okay? There's a lot that, like I said, lunar eclipse, hey, it's still a full moon. It's just a really big one. And those can be emotional, but it looks emotionally like moving for you. Okay? There's something really big. I mean, it's the hand of spirit with the Holy Grail. And so this is like tears of joy. Like the very first week, there's something that you're going to be getting, receiving, feeling. It's like rapturous, but also a lot of healing here. Okay. But this would be like new job, or, hearing good news, or, having a baby, or getting proposed to, like those big, big moments. New path right off the bat. Wow. Let's see the second week. Again, we'll talk more about the second week next week. We will have Venus sextile Pluto. FYI, money, 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 money for you especially. So, yeah. We'll talk about it next week. Remember, Jupiter goes direct. We have Mars conjunct the North Node, Mercury conjunct Mars, Ceres moving into Taurus, and remember that's not all. Let's see the second week. What is it? What is Capricorn? What do I gotta know about the second week? Yeah, four of cups here. Very interesting. I feel like honestly, some of y'all are going back to something, or let me see that Four of Cups. Yeah. Some of y'all are going back to something. Fine. That's, you do you. All right. Mercury is retrograde. So, but then goes direct. It's fine. The only thing is, you've got the Four of Cups and then the Knight of Cups. And so it's kind of like that same story here. Is if you, again, remember how I said, it just feels like something's missing. It feels like something, well, there, now we know, right? With that Four of Cups, you may feel that. You may feel that something's missing, or something that you have that you're not really happy with. You're like, right? And there's also the sense of, the Four of Cups. He's not really, like, you see the Hand of Spirit here as well. The Hand of Spirit only appears in the aces other than this card. So this is important. But he's already got 3 cups. And there's a 4th one being offered, and he's just like, whatever. So it's also like this card is associated with like boredom and apathy, and like, is this it? Like that type of energy. So it's raising your frequency. Yeah, that's all it is. Having that gratitude for the things that you do have in your life. Yeah, we all know how the law of attraction works. We all know that there's people out there who have nothing at all. And so that's just saying, like, listen, there's going to be something where, this is a month of tests. Something may be testing your gratitude, your frequency, your energy. And if you can get through that, wow, that Knight of Cups. And so, yeah, a big, like, wink from the universe regarding relationships and partnerships and things that just emotionally move you. I mean, the Four of Cups is attributed to the moon in Cancer, right? Cancer rules your 7th house of relationships and partnerships and commitments, and you have that Knight of Cups, like, I mean, clarifying. So there may be something here with relationships, but again, that frequency, raising that frequency, things are great, and a lot of creative energy here too. But it just feels like there is that underlying theme where, well, from this point, you have the 8 of Cups in your challenge area, and you have these standing out for every week. All these cups. And the one thing that you want is cups. And so there does feel like that those are the only cups, right? So it does feel like there's something here that's you're seeking more emotionally. Okay. Now, the third week, well, yeah, big. Mercury conjunct the North Node. We have the new moon in Pisces. We have the Sun sextile Uranus, equinox, Aries season. Mercury goes direct, Mars finds Jupiter. We have a Neptune Kazemi. Let's see the third week. And yeah. Do you know what you want? Because it's like, now it's like, okay, there's the devil. So now there's another test for you. I was just joking about that. But the devil, the reason I say that is because that's your card. All right. Devil is attributed to Capricorn. But as you can see, you see the 2 people from the Lover's card chained to the devil here. So again, there's just something. Are you going back to something that you know is not good for you? I'm going to leave it light. Okay. Going to leave it light. And it doesn't have to be relationships. It can be work. It can be, I don't know, toxic boss or maybe just habit, pattern, things that you're supposed to, release the first week with a lunar eclipse. Just, do your best to break free from those chains. Okay? You got to know what the chains are to break free first, right? That card is like addictions, as well as codependency, bad behaviors, pessimistic thinking, all of that, all of that. And then the last week we do have the Saturn Kazemi. That's big. And then Saturn sextile Pluto, by the way. Did I tell you that? Yeah, I did. Okay. As part of the prism portal. It's really, it's locking in. And then actually Venus moves into Taurus on Monday, on the last day. Obviously that's like a bigger thing. At the end, in April. And that's amazing for you. That's your 5th house. Okay. Of joy and pleasure and love. And yeah. Let's see the last week for you. And you have the 5 of Wands. So yeah. There may be something with, a little bit of competitive energy there. Yeah. Could be, children, your children. It could be colleagues. It could be employees. But I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is like a partnership. I'll clarify that too. I'll just take a look. Yeah. You just have to rise above it. But, this card is asking someone to be a leader. Let's resolve this. Someone needs to lead. Someone needs to, and that's going to be you. You got that Page of Swords. It's almost like you set yourself free, especially up here. If there's a little bit of, conflict, competitive energy, not seeing eye to eye. But, yeah, otherwise, you're great. You're amazing. You're good. Remember, it's a month of tests. But you're going to pass. Capricorn, next week, we'll go deeper in the aspects, okay? And yes, the bonus spread, yeah, we're going to look at love. We're going to look at everything. Money, career, health, okay, we're pulling more cards. Your big one, what do you need to know this month? Tier 3 members, really good, and legendary members. Well, thank you for being members. Anyone's welcome to join. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on, Capricorn. Yep. All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.